northeastern states, especially Meghalaya in particular, we are the lowest COVID affected state in the country. We have been very fortunate, because obviously the number of people moving into this region and the amount of, the connectivity. I think the connectivity, which was always a huge problem, which is a real problem. I think in the COVID time has been a little bit of a blessing in disguise, in the sense that because we are not so deeply connected with the rest of the country in terms of movements of people and everything else. So we continue to remain, COVID free to a large extent, or, less COVID, and we hope to remain this way. But again, given how the global situation is, one can never say much. If you look at our dependence on Government of India, our dependence on Government of India is much higher. So Meghalaya, which is in fact Meghalaya, Tripura, and Assam are the slightly more are the states which have slightly higher own tax revenues compared to the rest of the states. But even Meghalaya, with its reasonably higher, relatively higher own tax revenues, stands at like 22%. So our own taxes are around 20 to 22% of our whole revenue. So which means we are dependent on Government of India. 80% is our dependence on Government of India. And if you talk of the disruption, even here, I mean, I'm also, as you said, I'm also looking after the tourism department here. I mean, there are certain industries that are completely, there's absolutely no hope. There are, for example, in Meghalaya, tourism is one of the growth engines, and the last 5 years pre-COVID has seen a huge growth in tourism, large number of homestays. People have taken loans and set up these places, hotels, homestays, various kinds of businesses. Now, there is nothing that these people can do. So it's basically complete collapse of demand, right? We have been thinking very hard on what do we do and how can we even support them? How can we even, because I mean, even if the government were to give 10,000 rupees to these people, is this going to solve the problem? Because there's a complete collapse in demand, and there is no immediate future certainty on recovery of this demand in especially particular sectors. So what should be the government strategy has been something that we are thinking very hard. So in the Atmanirbhar, the Atmanirbhar package has been really great on two fronts, as I said. One is the NREGA and the second is the food security. So food security has been assured, but a number of other investments are mostly incremental investments. So we really need to restore the demand, which means we need more money. The increase in the borrowings, the FRBM limits from 3 to 3.5 is very welcome. It could potentially go till 5. But if you look at the overall fiscal deficit of the country, last year it was 6.16. So which means there is, I think, room. I mean, again, I'm not a macroeconomy expert, but broadly it feels like unless you there's nothing else than put more money into people's pockets, increase the spending capacity of the people. So from the state's point of view, we don't have those resources. So we definitely need resources to put that money into people's pockets, which has to come in some way from the central government. In addition to the committed resources in terms of compensation, GST compensation, huge compensations are due to the states. So Government of India will have to really come up with some way of transferring additional resources, even if it means expanding the borrowing limits beyond 5%.